MykroWaveTV.
20th of June, I was very, very upset because when I woke up at midnight, I was 65 and 1 second after that I became 66.
Thank you so much. Listen, earlier I said that you all need to be disciples because this message has to go loud and clear across the length and breadth of Jamaica. So yes, you're in this room and we know that we've told you those who are eligible. Thank you too to those who are watching online. We're streaming on all the Prime Minister's social media and of course JIS, and right now we're broadcasting live on Radio Jamaica with Dr. Orville Taylor. Dr. Taylor, good morning to you. And of course we'll do some rebroadcasts across various media. But it's important though that each one of us ensures that we tell all people about the programs that the government has. It's not just one program. If you need help in terms of being a young person, you're trying to get training, the heart is there for you. Prime Minister ensured that the JNC program is there. We had a cohort of graduates only last week. During COVID, the Prime Minister ensured that our people got assistance, the vulnerable that needed. The whole program, if you talk about hope in Jamaica, you talk about the whole program that we have, have been executing. You talk about the new social housing program. So indeed, no one in Jamaica is being left behind. He's a man of vision who understands that we need to transform Jamaica. Roy Ryan sang a song that was more than 25 years old. 25 years ago, Jamaica was not what it is today. The kind of transformation we've seen taking place. And so, all I will say is, lots is happening, nothing's a going. And the man who is ensuring that we continue to transform and go from strength to strength with vision, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Thank you very much, Naomi. I may say good morning to the persons gathered here at Jamaica House and those listening in Radio Land and those who are following us online and in social media. I've often said that poverty has several dimensions to it. The ones that we pay attention to would be the lack of income. So we would say that persons are income poor, they just don't have money to purchase the basics. The other dimension is information. And in today's world, there's so much information, but there is really not much knowledge. And you have to go through a process to convert information into knowledge. And so the lack of that process, which is usually described as education, but it could be exposure, training, good developmental circles in your family will help you to contextualize. So there's usually an absence of that. So people who are poor usually have information deficit, so they make poor decisions. And then there is the access to amenities, proper health care, water, security, and therefore, persons who are poor usually don't have access to good amenities and social services. And government policy is directed at trying to improve those. So we have been absolutely very successful in giving people income by virtue of getting more persons employed. You look at the unemployment rate today at 3.5%. We are virtually at full employment relative to a decade ago when we were like 13% unemployed. Access to amenities, that continues to be a challenge. But if you look at where we are with access to education, we practically have universal access to education at the secondary level. Quality still remains an issue. Healthcare, we changed this whole healthcare dynamic. We created a health-seeking behavior, in the Jamaican population. There are still challenges. More Jamaicans now are able to access healthcare. Certainly, and to be able to get access to it at affordable rates. Previously, healthcare you had to pay. And as it now relates to the issue at hand, which is how do we deal with the other dimension of poverty, which is alienation. And in a society like ours, where we see certain segments of the society moving ahead, making headway, getting access, there are others who are looking on and saying, this society does not care for me. So there's a segment of the society that feels that they are left out. And that's another dimension of poverty. And those who feel that they are left out, they are usually on the margins of the society. They are much easier to develop antisocial behavior. And ultimately, they create a counterculture that works towards the degrading of the society. Ultimately, they take a very negative view on the society. And you will likely hear them say, no, nah, go on. And we encounter that right across Jamaica. So even though the unemployment figures are clear, businesses are saying we can't find people, there is still a segment of persons as you go around the country who will say, I can't find employment. And the question is why? There are issues that they have not been included in all that is happening in the society. Whether it is the HEART program, which is now free, the subsidiary programs of HEART, the CARE program, the LIFT program, and all the other programs that we have put in, they are just on the margin. Some of it is attitudinal. Because they are alienated, they are on the fringe of the society, they simply just don't make themselves available. And so they take a negative view. I can't bother to. And if I go, they're going to turn me away. You hear all of these things. You know, the government is only for the rich. Only rich people going to get through. And that is absolutely not the case. And we must challenge that view. And we must be instrumental and deliberate in challenging that view, that the government is only for some people or only for the rich. But then there are those who want to be included, but there are structural issues. And you find that alienation can be very high, particularly in rural communities. So infrastructural things like transportation can be an issue. They just simply can't go to the places where they have to register. Access to the internet, for example, can be an obstacle that excludes Jamaicans from participating in the economy. And there are other issues as well. So when we sit down as a government to make policy to treat with this issue of poverty, we're not just looking at the income that people have and how do we increase their income. We're not just looking at how do we get more people knowledgeable and to use information wisely, information literacy, or enabling access to amenities. We also have to be instrumental in reaching the minds of those persons who feel that the system is against them. So we have to treat with this business of alienation, which arises out of the historical inequities in our development as a nation, which has led to quite a large what the economists call income inequality in the country. And we have to tackle that. And we have to make sure that whatever policy that we put in place does not lead to an exacerbation of income inequality in the country. So our policy on treating with poverty is carefully crafted to ensure that we reduce income inequality in the country. So you're going to be bombarded with all kinds of policies, all kinds of promises, but you have to examine each and every one of them very carefully, because the end result of some of these policies would be to increase income inequality. Because remember, every decision that government makes gives somebody equity. Likewise, every decision that government makes could take away equity from someone. And so some policies sound very good, but if you examine them carefully, it is giving a benefit to someone, right, whilst depriving someone else of a benefit. So, I don't want to go into too many of those. I'll deal with those policies and dissect them at another time. But, policies that say, we'll give you a deposit on something where only maximum 2,000 persons could get it. And other people are there looking on, what about me? What about me? So, and we have heard some of those promises and policies being purported, particularly in housing. So, let me stick to the policy that we're discussing here. So when we did the increases in the tax threshold, the income tax threshold, we immediately recognized that we would be giving a benefit to those people who are employed, which is what the income tax threshold does, relative to other persons who may be employed but are below the threshold. They get no benefit. So for the people who will get the benefit, this is the greatest thing, but they're not necessarily looking at the people who are employed, who earn below the threshold. They get no benefit. Is that fair? It may not come out in the media discussions, journalists may not write about it, but I have to pay attention. Because at the end of the day, if one set of people do very well and another set doesn't do well, it creates the inequality, it creates the alienation, and it creates the social tensions. So as a government, we have to pay attention to that. And so we did the reverse tax credit, where over 300,000 Jamaicans got a tax give back of $20,000 on their account if you earned less than $3 million. People were wondering, why are we doing this? Why was it necessary? It was necessary to ensure that we do not end up with long-standing exacerbations in our income inequality. And then we also recognize that we should look at those persons who are not currently captured in our social safety net. So we have expanded the social safety net significantly with the introduction of the non-contributory social pension for persons 75 years and older. That was an attempt to ensure that not just because of they're retired, but to ensure that there is equity in our society for those persons who have no income at an older age. We ensure that there is equity as well by expanding training through HEART, by making HEART free, getting more of our youngsters into training so that they have a better chance of getting educated, so that they can break at least that one dimension of poverty, which is lack of employment, lack of income. And we have expanded the PATH program with many benefits, including greater support for persons getting certification through CSEC and CAPE, and in addition to supporting nutrition in school through lunches and so forth. So our social safety net has been expanded widely. The gap in the social safety net, as it relates to this issue of alienation, would be those persons who are not captured at all in the social safety net. So they get nothing from the state. And they may very well be looking on and seeing, their neighbor getting a social pension, their neighbor's children getting CSEC support, getting PATH, or they may not be on PATH themselves. And they are wondering, they hear the Prime Minister talk about people being employed and there is growth in the economy, but what about me? They may very well form the view, you see, it's because they don't care about me. They may very well take antisocial positions relative to the state. So, in completing our social safety net and social interventions, forgive me, we decided that we need to express solidarity with those persons who are not formally captured in either employment or the social safety net. Bear in mind that we have also expanded the social safety net with unemployment insurance, which is in the works. And we have expanded even further with the tourism pension plan. So we've done all kinds of things to expand the social safety net. But there may very well be a critical number of Jamaicans who are still not covered, still not captured in this. And this is why we have launched the Solidarity Program. There might be some who will criticize the program and say, it's only $20,000 and it's one-off. That is where they don't understand the program. So this is what is described as a conditional cash transfer. It is conditional on the person receiving the transfer to become formally registered in the social safety net so that you can continue with formal benefits over time directly. That's what it is. So we give an incentive for people who may be attitudinally opposed because they just form the view societies against them. So we are going to have to reach out to them now. And that is why the program is designed as it is, where we will be utilizing several avenues of intervention. We will be using the MPs, the churches, justices of the peace, and other personnel who work in communities to identify those persons and register them. And then the ministry itself will have a special team which will be trained to move around the island and identify these persons. But of course, we encourage everyone who falls in the categories that have been already outlined. Elderly person 60 and over without any form of social support. You're not on PATH, you're not getting the what is called the social pension or NIS. Please reach out to the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. Persons with disabilities who are not already catered to under the various disabilities programs, let us know. Just on the weekend, I met a father who was pointing out to me that his son has developmental disorder. His son is now 19. And he has been dealing with these issues. He has to buy the medicine all by himself. And there are programs there, which I'm sure that if he were introduced to them, he could get support. So again, this issue of knowledge and just taking the view that, you know, the state doesn't care, and therefore, even if I go, I'm not going to get through. And some of them would have gone, and they would have had a bad experience, and then they say, you know what, I'm not going back again. So we have to reach out to those persons. Youth between 18 and 35, not in employment, education, or training, and that's particularly what we used to describe as the unattached. Now, we haven't done a recent survey to see what the number of unattached youth are, but I'm fairly confident that that number would have been significantly reduced, given the fact that HEART has constantly now for the last 2 years pointed to a massive increase in their registration. I recall the last number was 120,000 additional persons registered in HEART programs. So we're having an impact on the number of unattached youth. But there is still a large number. As I move around the country, I'm still meeting up on young persons who are saying that they can't find work. And I'm puzzled. I'm absolutely puzzled. But when you inquire further, the main issue would be they are not certified. And to get employment these days, the employer needs to manage the risk of employment by having certification shown. Because you can imagine as an employer, someone comes to you and says, I'm a welder man, I've been welding for 20 years. And you take on the person and they might know the basics of welding, but they may not know standards. And businesses must be compliant with standards, so they have to ensure that their employees go through a process of training. So we do have that challenge of having young persons still who are not certified, though they may have skills. And of course, there are many young persons who have no skills whatsoever and absolutely no certification. And a major challenge is transportation and housing. Because where the jobs are versus where they live, the cost of transportation and housing makes it not economical for them to take up jobs. So we have to give them support to deal with this kind of frictional issue, which creates this residual level of unemployment in the society. So which is why there are persons wondering, why is it that we are expanding the JUTC bus routes into rural communities? For this very reason. We need to have a bus system that is reaching all over the island with subsidized transportation, so that that residual number of persons who are not employed can get on a bus and get to work and get back home. So that is being worked on, which is why we're buying 100 new buses, and we're strategically, slowly but surely, expanding into these communities to deal with this frictional issue. Medically indigent individuals, if you are ill, shut in, can't work, and you are on none of the social safety net programs, please reach out to this program. Low-income informal workers, and you see quite a bit of low-income informal workers all across the country. You drive around and you see somebody with a stall, and they have a few mangoes on it, and and you wonder, how do they survive from that? So if you are in that category, reach out to the Solidarity Program. And persons without a birth certificate. The birth certificate and the NIDS, the National Identification, these are going to be the foundation documents for identity in Jamaica. If you now don't have, reach out to us. We'll put you on this program and put you in the system for proper identification. And micro businesses affected by disaster in the past year. And this is really set up to do the kind of mopping up exercise post-burial. If we did not get to those persons who were affected by burial, this is the program under which you should apply. So you could see then that significant thought has been put into this program. There are those who are thinking, hey, this is an election program. This program was announced in November, but it was thought about at the same time when we did the reverse tax credit and funding. So this is not a promise. This is funding. This is in the budget. It took us some time to roll out how it will be done, so that we don't end up with issues of people trying to get, but the program doesn't work because the administrative issues weren't sorted out. So we took the time to work out those issues. So once the minister declares the program as live, then everyone should be able to participate in it. So again, just in summary, so that everyone understands how to position this program. This is a part of the government's social safety net. It is designed particularly to treat with those persons who are not yet registered in one way, shape, or form, or are beneficiaries of the existing social safety net programs. The social safety net programs are extensive, whether it is PATH, whether it is the social housing, whether it is the tourism pension, whether it is the soon-to-be rolled out employment insurance, whether it is all the programs that we have on the PATH, whether it is what we do through the HEART, NSTA, Jamaica National Service, all kinds of programs are there to give support to the Jamaican citizen at the different stages of their lifestyle. But if you are not a part of any of them, then we are very concerned that there could be growing alienation in the society, that there could be this pervading and pervasive view that nothing will go on, which leads to a negative outlook on life, which is self-fulfilling. If you believe nothing will go on, nothing will go on for you. So we are reaching out to you with this window to get you into the formal system. And to be clear, this is not to keep you in the social safety net. The purpose of this is that if you are unable, because you may be medically indigent, or you are now retired, then we continue to support you. But if you are able, then the objective is to empower you. So the social safety net is a runway on which you can take off, not on which you should live. And that is the idea that we're going to enable you. So you come in as a youngster who is not getting any benefit at all. We'll get you into HEART. You'll get a stipend. You'll get transportation and lunch. Then we will move you into a job that is suitable. And then from there you earn your income and you start your life and become a contributing member of the society. And that's the objective. There's another program in this strategy, and that is the Hope for Children's Trust, which was announced again 2 budgets ago, and we're still in the development phase. We're seeding that Hope for Children's Trust with $200 million, and that will be a deposit starting for all children born at Jamaica's 60th anniversary of independence. So we will create a deposit account for all those children, and on their 18th birthday. Of course, it's not for all Jamaican children. It's means tested. It's directed at those households whose income is below a certain level or are registered on PATH. And so the objective is that those children, when they turn 18, they will have an endowment to start, thereby in the future reducing income inequality in the country. Because, let's face it, Jamaica's middle class will grow naturally. As employment increases, the middle class will grow. And so we're going to find that more children are going to do extremely well in school, qualify for higher level education. But those persons who are left out, Right? They are always going to feel that the society is not for them. And so what we have to do is to be proactive, deliberate, and instrumental. Reach out to them, bring them in, let them know that this is one country. The government is for everybody. They too have a place. We don't look down on anyone or exclude anyone. This is for every Jamaican. And therefore we have named the program quite aptly Solidarity. This government stands in solidarity with every Jamaican. We want every Jamaican to succeed, and we are moving the country from poverty to prosperity, which is why we can stand here and say proudly that the absolute poverty rate in Jamaica has been cut from 16% to 8%. And we are committed to eliminating absolute poverty in Jamaica. It can be done, and these programs set us well on our way to achieve it. Solidarity.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Your speech was well positioned because it really, again, explains to people that, it's one Jamaica and we will not have anyone left behind. Importantly, it shows that you see, you hear, you understand, and you ensure that there's a vision when you set policy so that everyone is benefiting. And so again, I will say, in our language that we understand, not a soul will be left behind. In keeping with making everybody disciples, I'm reminded of the verse in Matthew 5 that says, "You are the light of the world, a city set on a hill." Monroe people don't get too excited now. "Neither do men light a candle to put under a bushel, but put it on a candlestick so it can give light. Let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works, and of course glorify your Father in heaven." So again, I deem everyone here disciples so that you can go out and spread the word. Those on social media, go out and spread the word. There are a list of programs that government has that you can be part of. There are so many services offered by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security for everyone, not just for those who may think, I think I may have it, for those who are vulnerable, for those who need the government to be there for them. It's there. Just check the Ministry of Labour and Social Security's website. And in keeping with that, there is a video that the team at the Ministry of Labour put together to just give you a highlight overview of this Solidarity program.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security is proud to introduce the Solidarity Program, a targeted financial assistance initiative designed to support Jamaicans who are experiencing economic hardship. Rooted in the principle of inclusion and empowerment, the program provides not only immediate relief, but also a bridge to long-term opportunities for development and resilience. To ensure that support is delivered efficiently, securely, and transparently, the Ministry has partnered with Jamaica Information and Communication Technology Authority, formerly EAGLE, to roll out the GovPayout platform, an online application and payment system designed to manage and distribute the benefits. The Solidarity Program will be the first to be facilitated on this new platform. Here's how you can navigate the system. Step 1. Access the platform. Visit www.payout.gov.jm, the official platform for applying and receiving support under the Solidarity Program. Step 2. Explore program information. Review the full detail of the Solidarity Program, including program description, grant amount, application type, submission period, comprehensive eligibility criteria, and the required documentation. Step 3. Complete and submit the application. Applications may be submitted directly by the applicant or the referral acting on their behalf. Before proceeding, applicants must give consent. If someone is applying on their behalf, a signed physical consent form must be uploaded. Ensure all required documents are ready before starting the process. Once submitted, a confirmation email will be sent containing your authorization code, the application status, and contact information for support. Step 4. Application review and notification. Your application will be reviewed by the Ministry's Solidarity Unit. If approved, you will receive an email with payout confirmation instructions. Payments will be collected through local commercial banks and remittance outlets. Need help? For more information or assistance, email us at solidarity@mlss.gov.jm or call us at 876-922-8000-230.
All right, there you have it, an overview of the program itself. And now, because we know we have a very, very long, involved day where many of us have to roll up our sleeves and get to some other business, we now invite Ms. Kenesha Anderson Thomas, or beg your pardon, yes, Kenesha Anderson Thomas, Director of Public Assistance at the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, to do the vote of thanks.
All good things must come to no. Because this is the beginning of greatness, and because it's greatness, we're not stopping, we're just pausing to continue. With protocols already so beautifully established, a great morning, everyone. Morning. It is with heartfelt appreciation and a deep sense of purpose that I extend our collective thanks on the launch of the Solidarity Program. Today affirms a national commitment, a promise to reach further, dig deeper, and stand together for those who need us the most. To our Prime Minister, thank you for your visionary leadership and your inspiring keynote address. Your words stir us to act, reminding us that real development must touch the lives of the least among us. You reminded us also that inclusion is key and that it is instrumental in erasing the narrative that not Nagwan and that the government is only for the rich, and just to re-emphasize that we are on a mission to reduce income inequalities. To our excited Minister Pernell Charles Jr., we are grateful for your bold and compassionate guidance. Your overview of the Solidarity Program was not only informative, but a rally call, one that we will answer with dedication, as the program you outlined acts as the bridge to visibility. To our Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Dan Jennings, your welcome created an atmosphere of warmth and inclusivity, making everyone feel at ease and setting a perfect tone for open dialogue and shared purpose. And also for making it clear that the Solidarity Program is no small prize, but a big deal. To Ms. Suzette Morris, your opening part grounded us in reflection and set the tone for a meaningful gathering. So, Dr. Roy Rayon, thank you for that beautiful rendition. Starting out with Le Le Le, another one come, yes. And also for bringing the solidarity fever to us this morning. In closing, you nicely reminded us that You nicely reminded us to give thanks and praise. All them songs I grew up on, I used to listen to my father playing them throughout the day. To Miss Naomi Francis, thank you for moderating with poise and professionalism. You made today's flow feel effortless and engaging. To the Jamaica team, your dedication to the program rollout and the system is commendable. To our planners, our support staff, communication team, and to all those working behind the scenes, your efforts often go unnoticed, but I want to tell you today that you are appreciated. And to each attendee, to those who took the time to join us online, your presence is not passive. It is a powerful gesture of shared commitment, whether you are a policymaker, an advocate, or community member. Your support propels the vision forward. As I close, the Solidarity Program is a testament of what happens when combined passion or compassion with action, policy, and purpose, and gratitude with responsibility. Solidarity, in its truest sense, is like a great tree, so you can visualize that great tree. It's rooted, intertwined across communities, its branches sheltering the most vulnerable amongst us. It does not grow in isolation. It thrives when we act together, move together, and rise together. And today, we plant that tree firmly into the soil of Jamaican society. So we leave here today not just as officials or attendees, but as torch bearers of hope, each carrying the light of inclusion into our homes, communities, and agencies. Thank you.
Misha, thank you. What a lovely vote of thanks. Really and truly appreciated, and you are appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, you all are appreciated. I'll go on the analogy that Kamisha started. Be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bring forth fruit in seasons. For leaves will not wither, and whatever we do will prosper. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful people, thank you for joining us this morning. Let's go forth in solidarity and ensure that we leave no one behind. Good morning.
And then we'll have Minister Dorian. And then just show, and just stand aside. Just the going to show the information. Robert.
Yes. Thank you. Let's look at your one.
What's the matter,
And we did first Grammy.
Oh, wow.
No problem. I saw
No, but sir, Waive is not quite in the shape he should be. Come on, no.
So you have to Yes, because a lot of people yes, of course. Listen, so I will do the button. Yes, and I will do. Make sure my helmet and things. I will well put that some sharp on. Maybe that like your hook. Yes. All right. Good.
Where's this?
Yeah.